Hello there everyone. Right, today I'm going to be reviewing Safe House. Now, I know this film has already been in cinemas, it has just been released on DVD, and sometimes I miss films that are at the cinemas, I can't see them all, so if they're released on DVD, I'm going to review them then. So yeah, let's get started. Now, have you ever wanted to see a film where a 57-year-old man beats the crap out of a guy in a bathroom, then breaks his neck? Well, I can't say I have either, but you get to see it in this film. Denzel Washington, believe it or not, is 57. He looks great in this film. And if there's one thing that is good about this film, it is the action. All the action in this film is well shot. But unfortunately, apart from the action and the acting, everything else is pretty poor. So, Safe House stars Denzel Washington and Ryan Reynolds. And the story is quite simple, really. Ryan Reynolds works for the CIA and he works at this safe house. And he doesn't have a very exciting job, he just really answers the phones, but all that changes when Denzel Washington, probably the most feared criminal in all the land, is captured and sent there. Then this place gets raided by a load of criminals looking for Denzel Washington. Ryan Reynolds gets out with him and goes on the run with him. That is the story at its simplest. I'm not going to reveal too much else, not a lot more to it. The story is pretty simple and we've seen it all before. Acting wise, this film is pretty strong. It stars Denzel Washington, a two-time Oscar winner. What do you expect? Anything with him in is at least going to have good acting, and he does not let down here. He plays the killer in this film and he plays it very convincingly. He's very intimidating when he's on screen. And what else do you expect? He's Denzel fucking Washington. Ryan Reynolds is the co-star in this film, and I will openly admit I am not a big Ryan Reynolds fan. I don't even like him at all, really. And he had a bad year last year. Green Lantern was rubbish. The Change-Up wasn't much better either, so he really had some making up to do. And I'm pleased to say he's actually quite good in this film. Although he does overact in certain parts, he's solid throughout, he really is. And he's also quite convincing, just like Washington. As for the rest of the cast, I don't have much to say really. They were all pretty bland, pretty boring. If you've seen a sort of film like this before, you know, conspiracy, double cross, Bourne style films, you've seen these characters 100 times. There's nothing new, nothing interesting about them. Brendan Gleeson's in it, he comes in and out of it throughout the film, but no, he didn't add much to it, unfortunately. And I could also hear his Irish accent coming through. His American accent wasn't brilliant, but still, they were in the film, so they were okay. Neither of the actors seemed too challenged by these roles. It was nice to see Reynolds in a role that wasn't filled with comedy and allowed him to show his serious side and a bit more acting talent, but Denzel was too good for this film, in my opinion. Now, don't get me wrong, this film is good, but unfortunately, the story is so cliche, so I've seen it all before. The script is so poor. It's just, I'm used to seeing Denzel in films that allow him to do more with his acting talent, shall we say. But the film is good, don't get me wrong. Basically trying to say the film plays it safe compared to other espionage films, like, I know I'm referring to this a lot, but the Bourne films. It is a lot like the Bourne films. When I move on to the action in a minute, you will see how much like the Bourne films it really is. Before I get on to what this film does really well, I'm just going to comment on a few of the bad things about the film. Number one, the story. It's weak. It really is. We have seen this thousands of times. I could guarantee, I knew from the start there was a twist coming where one of the good guys at the CIA was corrupt, was bad, and I knew from the very start who it was, because I've seen these types of films so many times. And you should as well. Anyone who's seen a Bourne film or anything like this, you know who it is from the start. You know what's coming. It is utterly predictable. Now, the characters in this film aren't exactly really interesting, but the two leads are fine, and they're interesting enough to keep your attention throughout the whole thing. But the reason that the characters aren't that interesting, don't get that well developed, is mainly due to the fact that this film has such a quick pace. It is unreal. Seriously, the amount he uses short takes to a new extreme in this film. Seriously, I don't think there's a single shot in this film that lasts longer than 5 seconds. So many quick cuts. It's just quick cut after quick cut after quick cut. And at the start, I found this a bit bewildering, to be honest. I was like, whoa, you know, so fast, you know, going here, going there, wow, wow, wow. But once I got used to it, I was fine, and it does add to the excitement of the film. Now, after all that negativity, I'm going to go on to what the film does well, and this truly is the film's saving grace. The action. Saying this film is action-packed is an understatement. There is an incredible amount of action in this film. It is full of brutal fist fights, lots of gunfights, on-foot chases, car chases, anything you want in an action film you will find here. It is extremely exciting. Anyone just looking for action will be right at home. If you don't care about story, you don't care about characters too much, then that's great. Watch this film, you will love it. It'll probably be your new favourite film. Now, for the majority of the action, shaky cam is used a lot. Now, I know a lot of people don't like this technique. They think it blurs it, you can't see what's going on among all the carnage, but it's not too bad in this film. It is quite easy to understand what's going on. It's quite easy to see all the movements, the fight scenes, which are quite well staged and pretty well choreographed. Ryan Reynolds has a very, very well choreographed fight near the end of the film, which is not quite on par with Bourne, but still, it's very good and very exciting and very brutal. All these fights are very realistic, very brutal, very gritty, but at the same time very stylish. As well as these well-staged, brutal fist fights, there's also a handful of well-shot car chases, and the cars are going so fast, it is unreal. Seriously, it was so exciting. My heart was, oh, it was fantastic. And there's also a nice on-foot chase on the rooftops of a shanty town. That was really, really good. Denzel Washington, he's 57. He was jumping across rooftops, for fuck's sake. I mean, what more do you want? Good characters, good story. Yeah, it might help. Oh well. If you're a fan of action films, you're gonna like Safe House. If you're just looking for action, you're gonna like Safe House. But if you like your action films a bit more intelligent, with a good plot, well-written script, you might want to look elsewhere. So if you can sit back for 2 hours, turn your brain off, just enjoy the fantastic acting by Denzel Washington and the very good acting by Ryan Reynolds, it has to be said, and just enjoy the fantastically staged and brilliantly exciting action scenes, then you're going to have a lot of fun with Safe House. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope my reviews are slowly getting better, so please subscribe, stay tuned, there will be more reviews on the way, so see you soon.